Welcome to the third episode of Into the Unknown podcast. In this episode, we talk about our most recent project with Ampisound, the Manhattan Rooftop POV. We talk about our favorite experience from the entire project, our favorite line from the entire project, what it's like training on the rooftops of New York City. We experienced a technical difficulty, as is expected at this point, with the Unknown project.
Hell yeah. Until we get our next studio.
We shout out some athletes who shouted us out, which was great. Thank you for the support. And we talk about some young athletes in the parkour world right now that have caught our eyes. If any of that sounds interesting to you, this podcast will also sound interesting to you. So we hope you enjoy, and we'll see you there.
Welcome to our party.
Welcome, dude.
And we're going. Welcome, everybody, to Into the Unknown podcast. Episode 3. We have Lane Camerata, Vinny Vinciguerra, Joseph Rizzo.
What up?
This is a reshoot because episode 3 was absolutely terrible with a bunch of technical issues that we had. The camera shut off, the light shut off, the mic shut off again. I shut off, Lane shut me off. We got that sign. That sign's not shut off, though.
Is it overexposed? Do you guys know what the sign says right now?
If you can't see what the sign says, it says The Unknown Project. It was going to say Into the Unknown, but that only has a limit of 3 ends. And Into has 1 end, and the word awesome. Unknown has 3. I was really upset.
That's beautiful.
So it says The Unknown Project.
Yeah. Amazing.
You can now find this podcast for all you audio listeners on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Buzzsprout, YouTube for the video format, and there's like 4 other ones that are under the iTunes like umbrella, I guess, which is pretty cool. So if you do want to find those, the link will be in the description of the YouTube video or the description of wherever you're listening to the audio. So, what's going on, guys?
What up?
I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft. Played about 4 hours of World of Warcraft today.
Nice.
Oof.
I know Jesse was playing it, too. And Miguel's playing it as well.
Oh, yeah, we're all leveling.
Everybody's playing it.
Yeah.
Didn't you remake your character to play with them?
Yeah.
Wow. How does that go? How does that go from, like, what level were you in World of Warcraft?
I was a 42 paladin.
How does that work, going from that high of a level to just kind of dropping back down to playing with, like, new people? Is it frustrating?
No, it's like OCD for me. Like I've done that so many times.
Is it easier because like you know where to go to level up quicker? Cool.
I'm like a fucking lunatic when it comes to that. Like I'll level a character to 20 in less than a day.
I played League of Legends for a little bit, but I could never get into WoW.
You got League, I could not get.
League was fun. I think didn't we play that a little bit? No. Oh, I played it for a little bit. So I thought I played with Miguel, but apparently not. So.
Miguel says no. You did not.
Nope. Wasn't that lucky.
So we have themes, we have topics on this podcast.
Apparently.
Something you find a podcast.
Or do we? It's Into the Unknown. How do you know?
Yeah, see you guys later.
Oh, shit, bye.
The theme or topic of today was our, not most recent, but I guess most recent project that we did. Our collaboration with Ampisound, or Scott Bass, with the Manhattan Rooftop POV. And what we're going to be talking about is some of the best moments that we individually think we had, some of the scary moments that we individually think we had, and maybe we could come to a consensus.
Nice. Good word.
English.
Good.
With like what the best part of that video was. Because I think we all have our opinions, but I feel like there's like one thing in that whole video that we may be able to agree upon. So with that being said, Lane, Camerata.
Hello.
Of the Camerata Conundrums. What was your most favorite part of filming that entire project?
Like line wise, or just experience wise?
Experience. Could be a line, could be something that happened during it that people may not have seen.
I don't know if people have seen it actually, but when we climbed one of the roofs, and I think it was me, you, Jesse, and Joe climbed one roof, and we looked across the way, and we saw
that was amazing.
On the other roof,
that was amazing.
Surreal to me. That was crazy.
Yeah, they didn't see us in the beginning. It was Chris and Vinny on the other roof.
I heard Joe's fucking whistle. Joe, give us a good old tongue whistle right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, move away from the mic before you do that.
Here, don't peek the mic up. So I hear that in the distance.
Not
Jesus,
bad. Not
that
bad.
was
Hey,
loud,
it didn't peak though. Yeah,
It didn't peak
good.
too bad.
Yeah. So, for anyone who doesn't know, that's basically my signal to the guys to kind of like either get in gear or like to see what's going on. Just kind of
No,
like a general,
fuck you.
like,
That's your
It
signal
is.
being a bitch.
No, absolutely not. Not in
When
that
I hear
situation.
that noise,
Not in that
I
situation.
know it's Joe.
He
No,
does the same
no.
thing at work too. He just whistles across the whole entire gym.
Hey, listen, I got all you on a cat call. Listen, okay? I'm not saying anything. but
You're
all you
not
want a cat call.
wrong.
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
It's funny when my dad does it. I do it to my dad, and he turns around. He's like, "What?" I'm just whistling.
Oh my
Just doing whatever.
So
The control.
But it was though for that segment when we were in the city. I
Yeah.
used it only in those moments when we were on rooftops to get your attention to like what was going on.
it's true.
So yeah.
That was a pretty gnarly moment. I don't know. I was pretty bummed out about what we didn't get on camera, like the fucking machete and baseball bat dude who came on the roof.
Yeah.
That's like an unreal story because it sounds like a clickbait title. It's like no, like a legit.
No, like that. Yeah.
Dude came up with a machete.
Vinny, I'm gonna need you to move a little bit closer to the microphone.
I'm gonna need you like a fist away from that microphone.
Put a fist in front of you.
Yeah, put it first in front of you. All right. Yeah.
This is
how's
your
this?
designated distance.
Okay, cool. I'm in this now.
There you go.
So yeah, I really thought that was a gnarly experience. This guy came up with a baseball bat, and he asked us if we knew Steve. We should have asked him, "Do you mean Steve Zavitz?"
No,
Oh
but
my
I'm
God.
telling you, I said this in
that's the
the
way to
Lost
go.
the Lost
I don't
podcast.
think that was the way to go.
He was Steve, and he was trying to play a mind game on us.
That's what I was thinking.
If we said yes, it was a trap because he
was
would have
a
been
big
like,
motherfucking
"I'm
liars.
Steve."
Yeah.
Now what? So I think because we said no, he was like, these people are cool. There's
Yeah.
also 6 of them and 1 of me. This baseball bat's not gonna get me that far.
No.
It's funny with our interactions with people, kind of like the way it happened, because every time that we had an interaction with like an aggressive tenant on New York roofs, we were literally in the middle of filming a line. Like we heard every time we got caught, we were in like we had done one take,
out of breath.
literally all like just very huffed. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we were all in the corner, literally rewatching the footage when this guy came out with the baseball bat and was like, "What are you doing?" And we were like, "We're doing parkour." And he was like, "Okay."
My favorite.
Instantly, just like
I wasn't
that, and
even
just left.
threatened. I was like, why
Yeah.
is he coming up here to play baseball? And I was like, retard. I was like, who thinks that?
And
Why
that
do you
was,
think he's got a baseball bat, bro?
That was the roof.
What?
The Capass line.
My
That's
man.
what I thought. I was like, wait, if he has a baseball and he's like, he's gonna break a window up here if he launches it, and I was like, it wasn't making sense to me. I was like, fucking moron. Like, it took 5 seconds of that in my head before I was like, really like, oh no.
So in my head, like we said, he came on top of the roof and asked us if we knew who Steve was. Either he was Steve or the machete guy was Steve.
No.
Because
The machete guy was not Steve.
Are you
That was not Steve.
Are you sure though? He was pissed.
That was not Steve.
That
His
was
mother
horrible.
comes up yelling about his mother having cancer.
He has a hole in his roof, which there was no hole in the roof because we would have seen it. But he just came up very angry man. Now, a normal person, when faced with an angry man with a machete yelling nonsense at you, you'd be scared. There were 6 of us on this roof.
We had an army, Jake.
The
with
best
us.
he could have gotten
Okay.
maybe was 2 of us if he threw it. And even then, I want to believe we're fast enough. Then what do you do?
Oh, no,
Oh,
that
I was
machete
prepared.
cleaves
I was
into
prepared.
one of us. I think all of us, our eyes would widen and be like, oh no, he's
No,
got a
that's why.
machete.
That's why I like walked a little forward, so if I got hit with the machete, you guys could get him.
Oh yeah, that's what.
Lane was
Yeah,
gonna
that
take
was
the
the
bullet.
machete for the team.
That's exactly what it was.
Forearm it to.
Oh no! I'm gonna die. You guys got this.
Lane has no faith in
I have
himself.
faith in you guys.
What that roof was the Capass line roof, right?
Yeah.
Like we all it was Jake, Jesse, Chris on the left side of the roof, and it was me, Lane, and Vinny on the right side. And you guys had worked out some form of line to like come around to like the corner of the roof while we were doing like cap passes over, and you did a disgusting double cap pass on your line. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, the only annoying thing about that was like I knew I had the distance from the beginning. The takeoff was those like really, I guess like domed out. What would you call it? The
They were like tiles because like weeks before we started the project, I did a running pre on a roof like that, and I was terrified.
Yeah.
Those things like
Would
they
you call
scoop
it a
down.
Trapezoid? Is that the shape?
No, it's like bubble
Not
wrap.
at all.
It's like sloped. So,
Yeah.
so
It's like a half
basically
circle
you're
kinda
like
thing.
your hands are going on something like this, but like the other part of it is flat. For those that don't know, I just picked up the whiskey. If you're listening to this, I just put my hand on it.
Yeah.
It's rounded top.
It was rounded
but
top, but then it was
it's-
flat on
yeah,
the sides.
It
But it was
scoops
like
down.
angled.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But now
There's that lip.
the
and then
scariest
it's
part
absolutely-
was if your palm hit the top of that and slipped.
Yeah.
Yeet.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Those whole tiles
it wasn't
sometimes
ideal.
just lift up and you. Can
That
just
wasn't
flip
that
up.
wasn't the worst part though. The worst part was the first time I ran at it. No, I think we're still good here.
I believe so.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
New York
we're good.
architecture is sketchy as fuck.
That's true.
Beyond sketchy.
Yeah, but the scariest part was when I first ran at it
Mm-hmm.
was I ran, smacked the tiles, and pigeons came out of the middle.
Yeah, you said
so
that. I
so
remember.
now I'm sitting here and I'm like, okay, the one time I'm gonna commit to this, I'm gonna get decked by a pigeon
Yeah.
in the face.
Those
So like I remember when I first went and you see it in the GoPro footage, I hit it, looked straight down because I was like, if I'm gonna get hit by something, I want to see this motherfucker hit me right now.
Oh my god.
So I looked straight down. I was like, nah, we're good. I just kept going.
You'd body a pigeon though, like that pigeon. That
Would
little,
I?
That little inbred creature slamming into you? Are you joking? That thing would explode. I've seen them hit the glass at the place I lifeguard at, bro. They just go blasting into the glass.
Jesus.
They're
Dude,
dumb animals.
There was a lot of dead pigeons in New York. Like a lot on the rooftops.
Yeah, New
It
York,
was
where
uncomfortable.
Like massacred. Like
No,
guts
horribly.
pulled
Like
out,
it was
a
crazy.
lot.
Some roofs
constant
in
death we were
yeah.
witnessing.
No, some roofs in Chinatown,
Memento
dude.
mori.
They were like
Memento mori.
some roofs in Chinatown. They were ripped to parts and shreds. It was disgusting. It was weird.
Flat mouse, completely flat, as thin as paper, just in the middle of the street, and
Yeah.
obviously got run over. But like
Jeez.
Remember the fish on top of the roof?
Oh no, that's like
Fish.
fish jerky though. Yeah. In Chinatown.
Yeah, you dry out fish.
Yeah, apparently it's good.
They just leave 'em out.
Should have had a few bites, bro. That
Oh,
kind of been
no.
picky, but you know.
Absolutely not touching rooftop.
Oh no, it looked raw.
No, disgusting.
You don't want rooftop fish?
I don't definitely do
Rooftop
not
fish.
want rooftop fish. It was horrible.
Rooftop
You-
fish with gas station sushi.
Gas station. Wow, that's a hard one.
Ooh, that's hard.
Rooftop fish. I'll send the rooftop.
I'll take
fish.
rooftop fish.
Nice,
Gas
nice.
station sushi. I don't know. I don't trust it.
That's valiant.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
valiant.
You know,
So,
'cause
um,
it hangs there. No one's touching it for a while. No.
Before we get off topic
From the off topic.
from the off topic that started from Vinny's favorite experience. Joe, what was yours of the entire project?
So like the only thing that comes to mind is it was like the second to last day of shooting, like the fourth week in. We had got up on some rooftops in Chinatown. We got a couple lines with me and Lane, a couple lines with Vinny and Chris, and we had split up afterwards for a little bit. I think my favorite part was the dome roof that me and Lane went on. Just because of how interesting it was. Like we got the train up there for about like a half an hour, 40 minutes. It was one on the roofs that like we actually had like a lot of access and like cover to, so we like could spend some time there and really like come up with a really good line. And even though that rooftop literally felt like grip tape and ripped my pants, it was definitely like the best roof like ever to get like a duo line. So it was scary too. That jump, that hurdle over the like metal beam to like the ledge on the roof, definitely scary. Lane had stuck it before me with the hurdle, and it took me like a bit to kind of like get it, especially with like the lines that we did. Very interesting, very scary.
Yeah,
So-
I think my favorite experience of the entire thing, if we're keeping it like solely experience wise,
Yeah, I would say so.
was the last day, the last roof that we went up to that you guys have been up to prior to us even starting the project, the Times Square one.
Roof. That's a
Just
Oh,
like-
a classic.
As
Yeah.
the
It's a
as the
beautiful
day went
rooftop.
on, and like we were just chilling up there for a couple hours, honestly, and just having Times Square as like the backdrop,
Yeah.
being that high above it, I thought was one of the coolest things of
Absolutely.
the entire project.
I think that was one of the coolest things because we started on that rooftop.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
that
we
was,
ended
that was
there.
a weird way to end it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we were like, what could we get to have an amazing backdrop for the last shots? And we were like, Times Square, we know this roof that we can hit up very easily. Just went into a couple alleyways and climbed up.
Every
Beautiful.
time we went back too, there was like so much more to do. It was
Yeah.
really absurd.
Yeah. And actually, it's funny because the challenges that we thought were easy, that we were like, yeah, we're just going to put a GoPro in our mouth and get them, took way longer than we expected, right? Because we trained the entire day. We were already doing different missions to get different clips. So we were super tired. So I guess we overthought it. And the stuff that we tried to do took us way longer because we just hyped it up too much.
Every day
Interesting.
when we were doing that project, we were putting in about a half marathon.
Yeah.
Just them walking and
Yeah.
climbing
I know
stairs.
you always kept the you were recording it on your phone, like how far we were
Mhm.
walking. I remember
Yeah.
like
Oh,
Every-
it was
every mile.
consistent 12 to
Yeah.
13 miles every single time we
Yeah.
went. And I was like, yeah, that's from
shot by the end of the day.
walking to just various spots, or at least just walking up the steps, the fire escapes, through the roofs, on the buildings.
And that's not even counting the ones that are duds too. Like
Yeah,
Jesus.
so many. At least like the last day with me and Lane, like we were pulling like maybe 20, 30 doors that had no access at all. Just kind of hoping to get on top of a rooftop. But just the training in general was very eye opening. I enjoyed it a lot. I think we pushed ourselves more than we thought that we did. You know, kind of looking back on it now. Yeah, there's like so much more that we could have done, but for what we did do, dude, it was baller. I thought it was awesome.
No, we killed it, dude. That's the video I wanted to see since I was a kid in New
Yeah.
York. Like there's no rooftop videos in New
Exactly.
York except for ours now.
But it's so hard to do. Like you get basically like I know we found some roofs that we had like comfortable access to, but other than that, basically almost every other clip was like very rushed and like no prep time at all. Like for the jumps that we found, we all made the decision that like we're not going to take ourselves too much out of our comfort zone. Maybe like 3 to 4 second decisions when looking at a challenge to do. But every time, because we got kicked off so many times for so many roofs, and the again, like the run that me and Lane did on one of the rooftops, like was literally like, I'm calling the cops, get off my roof. Okay, guys, grab the bags, let's fucking do this. 3, 2, 1, go. And we got it in one bang. Yeah, it wasn't like the best line that we could have came up with, but that's mainly the entire training. And for what we did under that like rushed period, I think it was fantastic.
New York minute, baby. You gotta
Absolutely.
be on your toes.
Yeah.
I think
City
that's
that never
good.
sleeps. Absolutely.
The city that never lets you go on top of a roof too.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Ever
Well,
vigilant.
Get
It's
off that person's roof.
yeah.
This isn't. How do you know I don't live here? I'm calling the cops. All right, I guess.
Well, I don't know. In New York City, it's a really big terrorist thing. It's a really
Yeah.
big terrorist threat when you see people on roofs. Like people freak out
So, I mean,
for
like,
no reason.
I guess in like a good way though.
9/11 would be the reason. It's
well,
probably the
yeah,
reason.
no, I get that,
That's the
but like,
reason.
you know, assess the situation to some point. Like,
Yeah,
what-
of
you know, like
course.
I don't know, people just flip out immediately. Like they just go to, I'm calling the cops. They don't even give someone like a chance to explain like what's going on.
I mean, at least for all the times that we did get kicked off the roofs and everything, I think the challenge of finding roofs to stay on just made the whole project that much better by the end of it. Knowing like we went through all this stuff. Some roofs never even got to be filmed on, even though if
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
amazing, because we got kicked off or the
Yeah.
cops got
We
called.
found like 1 or 2, right, that were just like so good and like
Oh, the
within,
booby
like,
roof.
yeah, within like 20 seconds, 30 seconds, like just people calling the cops and had to rush down.
Yeah.
It was annoying.
Real quick, before we move on, there are a couple people I want to shout out real quick.
Oh,
some of the-
wonderful.
Some of the people who shared our lovely podcast on different forms of social media.
Oh, cool.
I would like to continue doing this. So get the podcast out there. We'll be talking about a lot. Or nothing. Who knows?
Or just to ourselves. We could just listen to this. We enjoy it.
This
is
We
true.
enjoy our own
I
voices.
listen to this on my way to work just
Yeah.
because it kills the time. But I want to shout out Miguel Southey Jr.,
Oh, he's awesome.
Julius Porter, Sophie, I'm sorry, I'm going to butcher your last name, Giganti
Is that Sophie from VertiQuest?
from Vertiquest
Oh,
and
yeah.
Venture, yeah.
She's awesome.
I
She's
just
so
I
sick.
just knew I was going to. Brandon Hooper from Boston.
Dude, that boy is killing
Amazing.
it.
Yep.
Oh.
Swings on lock.
You
God
will.
damn.
And
Next generations.
Mike
We'll see you
Arujo, Mr. Pyro himself.
Hell yeah, Pyro.
So
Love
thank
that
you guys
boy.
for sharing the podcast, and hopefully you enjoy listening to them as much as we enjoy making them, because this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Dude, is there a not to get off topic of like
Joe, that's all this podcast is
I know,
about.
I'm
Let's be
get
real.
off
Well,
topic right after that. Don't
cool
worry.
because you brought up some like of the younger athletes that has kind of been coming around. Is there anyone in particular that you guys have been watching lately that's kind of younger that has kind of caught your eye?
Yeah. Let's see. You guys can discuss yours. I have to. I forget the name of
we
this kid.
literally just mentioned one of them, but Brandon and
Yeah,
Will
dude.
from Hub.
Dude,
Honestly, most of the
Massachusetts
kids
kids.
at Hub, yeah, they're
Yeah.
just they're crazy, and like I can't wait until
think
they're allowed to
it's-
like compete in EPCs and whatnot. It's gonna be ridiculous.
Absolutely.
But
I
yeah,
think Brandon is. You just shouted out Brandon _Hooper _PK, right? And Will is. I think he just actually changed.
Big Will.
Yeah, he just actually had like a debate. I saw it on Instagram to like change his Instagram name. It's like Bill, big _Will _PK. They are absolutely killing it. These two. from like the Hub Gym.
I was
Absolutely.
also gonna say shout out to the Hub Gym, shout out to Dylan Poland,
Oh, yeah.
Potty.
No,
Jeremiah.
Dylan does not need a shout out.
Dylan has
Yeah,
a whole 5,000 followers. None of them are fake though.
Mhm.
It's like
Oh, here we go.
What about you, Jake?
I'm trying to find it. Like, I can't remember his name. I'm also looking for his like Instagram handle. He was like one of like the really young kids that we've like actually. He's been like on our radar for a couple of years now. I'm pretty sure his name is Elias.
Oh, Toil?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
I was
yes,
literally
yes.
about to say
Oh, Elias from Riot?
No.
Oh, wait.
Elias from
Also
Riot.
dope.
is amazing.
Shout out
Riot.
Ah.
But no, yeah, he's like a kid. Like I show you him sometimes. Like
Really?
this kid's, yeah, he's ridiculous. Like free running
wow.
is like crazy.
Why
Oh,
can't
wow.
I find him?
kid's
there's
ridiculous.
kids coming
Oh
up
my
in
God.
Asia.
Here he is,
though,
here he is.
too. Like, there's
Ellis.
these 2 twins.
Lane.
Oh,
Ellis
They might not be
Torhall.
twins.
Ellis.
15 years old from Sweden. Athlete of Velox free run.
I know who that is.
Here's my man right here.
Yes. Yeah.
15 years old.
Yeah. Disgusting.
Dub.
Yeah.
Excuse me, swing
Absolutely
dub.
gross.
Are you out of your mind, Ellis?
I'm trying to find. There's a.
Elis? Hopefully I'm not saying that name wrong
Ellis
too.
Ellis.
But my man is insane. Also, just like episode 2, anything that we talk about throughout the episodes, any athletes, gyms, I don't know, gadgets, who knows? The link will be in the description of the podcast or the YouTube description of the video, just so you guys can follow along with things that we're saying.
because God knows what we're saying.
Give me. I'm trying to find.
Can we look that
else.
up, Jesse? Can we look that up?
Did
Yeah, you got
someone
that?
mention
Sick.
gods? Do we need...
No.
No, that's okay.
Stop.
Vinny, you have to start that talk at 1 second if you want to have a whole podcast about that.
No.
Unlike
why not? Push this to 45 minutes and we'll talk about
Unlike
it right now.
episode 1 at 28 minutes,
I
where I
thought-
said the clear cutoff with 30 minutes. At 28 minutes, Vinny goes, so what do you think happens when you die?
Listen.
With 2
I
minutes
thought we were
remaining.
going to 45 minutes. I thought that was an option. I want to go to 45 minutes. It says 21 right there. You telling me you can't talk about what you think is going to happen when the lights go out? And that's
I can talk about that for hours on end.
So can I.
I'm not going to fit it in 9 minutes, Vinny.
So then push it to 45. We're wasting time just talking about
No.
the time.
So we keep the episodes at 30 minutes because we do plan on doing extended Q&As that will only be audio.
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody who's watching on YouTube, you wouldn't be able to see it, but you would have to listen to it on any of those platforms, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast. Google coming soon as well. Working on that one. But
Everywhere.
also, episode 3, this podcast is sponsored right now.
Why?
The Unknown Project. Go ahead.
What?
Shout out.
Go ahead and look at unknownprojectco.com. I believe it is.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of our own website.
We're laughing at ourselves already.
The link will be in the description.
Nice.
If you want nice training apparel for affordable costs. They feel
Wow.
nice. They feel very good to wear. So you should check them out.
Nice.
Thanks, The Unknown Project, for sponsoring us. You guys are amazing.
They're all made in Staten Island, so you know.
American made.
Yeah,
Handmade.
American made.
Woo.
Yeah, absolutely.
Booyah.
Make our own stuff.
Thank you for your service.
So, real quick, as we wrap up
You're
this
welcome.
podcast, I do want to get onto favorite line of the whole video
Okay.
of the Manhattan POV and also our separate POV because there were some lines that didn't make it into Ampisound's video.
Yes.
So from those 2 videos,
Yes.
we'll go Joe first
Okay.
because I know you like being called on first,
Apparently, yes, I do.
and we're gonna go that way.
His favorite. What was the first one? Favorite line.
Favorite
The
line.
Second one. What was the first one?
Favorite line.
Favorite line, like in general.
You're hurting the boy.
I feel like
You're hurting the boy.
brain fart. No,
Six.
Should have told him
Nine.
there's a lineage. Should have just started.
No, I think.
so. Let me put it like this. It all started with a stone mask and this
Oh
guy,
my
Jonathan
God.
Joe Star. It's a long
Should've
story.
started at the Stardust Crusaders. This is bullshit.
You're telling me that's not Joseph.
Oh. So I think my favorite line. I think it was the day that we went out when it was raining with me, you, and David.
I'll go fuck myself.
I wasn't there either.
No, it was just I don't know.
Vinny was there.
Like he was there. He did. He did.
I guess
come,
I'll go
he
fuck
did.
myself
Yeah,
then.
yeah. No, it's just like the way it all came together with me, Lane and David in like that moment. It was sick. Like the struggle to get on top of the roof at first, and like just kind of prepping the line in general. So we did. It was like 3 separate like rooftops going down. And the middle level had like a rail that we were gonna like vault over, drop down. Lane was doing a diving cat pass to a rail, probably over like a 6 or 7 story drop. Halfway was like covered, but like before that you couldn't really you like saw the drop. So if you undershot it, like you kind of were like screwed. David was doing a cat back to a rail that was pretty okay. It was pretty over cover of roof, but just kind of the way the line came together. I had dropped down from the 3rd level. We went over the rail. The clip kind of speaks for itself. Like everyone was on par, and the fact that it was like a 1 bang too was awesome. So that was like one of my like definitely favorite line in general. So
that was a nice roof too. We like
awesome.
We got obviously it started raining, so we got rushed off of it. But
that was the one
potential for other lines.
That was the one with the flags, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the rooftop was a school.
It was a school.
Yeah. That was in session.
Oh.
Yeah. Like as we were climbing up the fire escape over, because we had to climb across the building to get to that side. I had looked up right as I was coming off the fire escape, and I saw a full class in session, and we were literally probably 40 feet or 30
Very
or 40
nice.
feet right outside. So it was chill. We didn't get called on.
What about you, Vinny? What was your favorite line on the whole video?
I really don't even know, honestly.
All right, Lane. What about you? What was your favorite line, Vinny?
Hey, I could hear myself. You don't have to whisper at me. I know what the levels are.
You're peeking.
Yeah.
You're peeking.
You're peeking.
No,
It's not peeking.
I was a
Lean
little bit
forward.
there. So, if I really like that stride roof. I really like getting those shots and trying to time.
Oh, like
the look down.
what we did for the
Yeah,
intro?
Yeah, for the intro.
That was sick.
I just like the whole process of even like scouting that out.
Yeah.
Having Chris and going to talk to 3 drug addicts for like a few seconds.
Oh my God.
That
we're
was
like,
great.
we're like, if they spot us, this is all over. Chris,
But
go distract them.
Also, think about the amount of times we had to go on that roof.
So many times.
You guys went up there.
So me and Vinny were on that roof. No. So I was on a total of
You
like,
were on it the most, about 7 times.
about 7 times.
You 2 went up first, Vinny and Joe.
Uh-huh.
Then the 4 of us went up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, we did.
Then
Wow.
because we got
Yeah.
the original clip.
Yeah.
Then later on we were like, oh, let's do the intro.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time that I thought about flipping that gap, we went up, heard the guy tell us,
Mhm.
what are you guys doing? Came right back down.
Are we back on the camera? What's up?
Yeah, well, camera had technical difficulties, so for the YouTube side, sorry. For the
Damn.
audio side, I'm going to have to edit that as well. I think we stopped at Joe talking about his favorite line being on one of the schools.
Mm-hmm.
Vinny, what was your favorite line?
We're taking it back that far?
We strayed off from there.
Yeah, we did.
No, we did. We were talking about the.
Oh, your favorite line was the intro to the video.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
we were
we
talking about
talked-
the
we talked
interaction
about
on
it.
the roof.
The interaction with the guy,
Yeah.
he just kept repeating
Yeah.
himself.
Well, so basically, in general, with New York rooftops, tenants are fucking crazy. Absolutely crazy. Extremely mad. They do not want people on the roofs whatsoever at all. Just be careful if you ever climb roofs in New York. Just fucking be careful.
the tenant that we're
Most
talking
people
about.
don't want us on their roofs.
Yeah.
honestly.
Well, well, again, take it to So again, we were talking about like the kind of like how it's in New York, like kind of like a terraced kind of theme, because like it's so like looked down upon. In the UK, trespassing is not a criminal offense.
Yeah,
Here,
I mainly want to touch
ridiculous.
upon the intro that Vinny is talking about
Oh.
for the Ampisound video, the
Ah.
tenant that we ran into
Yes.
that just kept asking us the same question of how we got onto this roof and wouldn't stop asking us that question,
Mhm.
which was absolutely amazing because we gave him the same answer about 5 times and he just kept asking us the same question
Yeah.
of how we got on the roof. And no matter what we told him, he just wanted to know how we got on the roof.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, like we can't explain it any better.
And again, mid-run, just
Yeah.
It seemed like
Super
he was
out of breath.
stalling us. That's what.
Yeah,
I thought.
and that's
that's
why-
what it came
Paranoid.
off as. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, we need to do something. But
Yeah.
then he went inside. He was chilling.
But he went inside and we were like,
Mhm.
we got to do this
Mhm.
now and get down.
Dude,
One
that
bang.
that clip. No, it wasn't one bang.
It was a two
Two
bang.
bang.
It was a
Two
two
bang,
bang,
two bang.
two bang.
After
two
that, it
bang.
was one bang.
Easy
Yeah,
two
yeah,
bang.
easy
bang.
two bang.
Yeah, because the
Two bang,
first
yeah.
take, Chris landed on his back with the dive roll and I almost fell off the roof with the side flip.
Shout out to Chris Piccarello for dive rolling that gap. That was
Disgusting.
Shout out to all
Absolutely
arthritis.
disgusting. Yeah.
What about you, Lane? What was your favorite line of the whole thing?
Honestly, I don't even know. It was
Yeah,
so good.
How about you get closer when you talk
I hate you. So I would have to say, honestly, I think my favorite line was the line I did with Joe, actually, when we were on that roof that you and Chris originally, you, Chris and Jesse actually recently visited prior.
Where I had
to
done
us
the
getting
cap
there.
pass and you had done the speed
Yeah.
step down.
Yeah, and I did
That
this-
was such a sick line.
Yeah, that was a nice roof.
Very
too.
frustrating, but awesome when it was put together.
I would say
you
it
know?
took forever, but
Yeah,
It was
just a lot of
honestly one of my
technical
favorite things.
issues. You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't over like death except for the speed step and the cap pass, but like it was just kind of getting coordination and just right in general. So it was awesome.
yeah.
We are
Except
great
for that wall.
choreographers, in
Mhm.
other words.
Yeah.
Under
Well,
pressure. And under
We're,
time.
we've been so much better with it. And I think actually I was talking to Lane about this a couple days ago. I think the one thing that we do very well that not a lot of parkour teams have done recently is come up with full choreographed team lines, like multiple people, 3 to 4 people in a line cinematically. That's nothing we.
I mean, the only teams that you see nowadays really doing that are Store,
yeah,
Farang. Like
but
they're
it's
all.
not. I don't think it's to the same degree or level. Like I don't know.
I
Like,
mean,
well, what they do
I
is
can play
is-
the opening to this video and you'll understand.
Oh, I
what
haven't
mean.
seen it.
The-
Parkour and
I haven't
London's
seen it.
dying, dude.
Yeah, the new store video
haven't
literally
seen it yet.
opens with all 6 of them in the same shot, or however many of them,
Oh, sick.
all in the same shot, like doing different things.
All right, dope. Okay,
I'm
wow.
excited.
That crazy 180.
Well, to be fair, I think it's interesting what we do. So
Yeah.
Cool.
To wrap this up, I think my favorite line out of the entire video was the first team line that we all did.
that was awesome.
Because it really put into perspective, like, this is something that is very possible for us to achieve, like the project as a whole, and seeing how that line kind of molded itself and came out in the final part of it really showed me. I was like, nah, we got this. Like, this is something that's
Everyone
we
was
can do.
holding their own, doing
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
in some way.
Yeah, it was awesome.
But, yeah. Go ahead.
If you wanna check out any of that stuff, head to YouTube. Ampisound. The video is called New York City Rooftop Parkour POV. And
Something
then,
along those lines.
And then if you want to see any of the behind the scenes footage, we have a whole documentary series on our channel, The Unknown Project, and we have a POV of our own, kind of like a director's cut to that video with multiple clips, multiple angles, kind of like the entire encapsulation of the project that we did.
We're basically going to treat this like Skyrim and just kind of keep remaking it for the next 10 years. Or is it-
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Hey, I just
this
got
is a
done-
new thing that we're doing.
Yeah.
But thank you for listening. The podcast will air on all audio platforms every Sunday and or Monday, depending on when they'll get out to all the other providers. And the video format will always appear on YouTube, hopefully by Monday, if I don't forget. So thank you all for sharing the podcast and the support. You all seem to like it. Like I said, hopefully you'll like it as much as we like making them. And we will see you guys in the next one.
Oh wait! Shout out New York City
Shout out New York
and
City.
and
Shout out Arizona?
And Arizona.
Arizona.
Sort of, yeah.
and
Thank you.
Atlanta, Georgia. Please
Atlanta,
give me
Georgia.
some
There you
work.
go.
Please fucking God.
Houston, Texas.
And we're out.
And we out.